Being established in 1995 as a part of NBA expansion to Canada, Toronto Raptors have had a fair share of great players despite being a relatively young franchise. In this ranking, we wanted to favor players who played in Raptors uniform for longer than those who played for a brief moment, even if they achieved great things in this time. Because of that, some of these standings might surprise you, so definitely stick to the end and comment if you agree with us afterwards. Number 10. Tracy McGrady. McGrady was just a skinny kid playing in Toronto before becoming a Hall of Famer, a scoring champion, or even an All-Star. Nevertheless, he wasn't playing nearly as much as he should have, which likely contributed to his departure. He was selected by the Raptors with number 9 in 1997, right out of high school. He only played for 18 minutes each night as a rookie at the age of 18. He didn't start playing a significant role in the rotation until his third and final season in Scotiabank Arena, which was then called Air Canada Centre, largely as the team's sixth man. In the year 2000, McGrady played 31 minutes and put up 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal and 2 blocks a game on average. The Raptors qualified for the playoffs for the first time in their history, but got swept by the Knicks in the first round. You could already see glimmers of greatness in the beginning. You could see he was going to be extraordinary by the time he started seeing significant playing time next to Vince Carter. Unfortunately, he didn't enjoy performing alongside him and preferred to play in his native Orlando. Some are still wondering what could have been if he stayed. Number 9. Morris Peterson. Mo Pete is still regarded as one of the greatest Raptors of all time by the fans of the franchise. He was a devoted and entertaining player. Toronto chose Peterson with the 21st pick in the year 2000. Head coach Lenny Wilkens felt confident throwing a 23-year-old rookie into the fire because he had won a national championship at Michigan State and was relatively experienced for a rookie. He played almost every role you can think of from that point on. He was a beloved teammate in addition to being a good perimeter defender and a three-point shooter. He came to the team by the time Carter was slowly stepping back from it. Peterson was about the only thing Raptors could rely on at that time, when nobody really wanted to play in Air Canada yet. He remained loyal and fans loved him. Even after going to New Orleans Hornets, his first game in the arena, he kissed the Raptors logo at the center of the court. Number 8. Jonas Valanciunas. A 7-footer with excellent motor skills and strong work ethic. He was selected by Toronto with the 5th overall pick in 2011, but he didn't arrive from Lithuania until the following year. JV complied with the Raptors' request, put on weight, build up his strength and play with his back to the hoop. Then, as the style of play in the NBA progressed into fast pace and focus on perimeter shooting, he lost weight and learned to shoot three-pointers. JV never complained. Even though he wasn't exactly getting tons of minutes, he will be remembered as a loyal and a coachable soldier who always put his team first. Number 7. Fred VanVleet. After going undrafted in 2016, he still managed to sign with the Raptors. During that season, he spent time with the team and also with their G League counterpart, Raptors 905. But simply put, not many NBA teams were eager to take a risk on an undersized 4-year collegiate player. He battled his way onto the Raptors roster, won a championship with the G League team in his rookie season, broke out, and finished as a finalist for the Sixth-Man Award in his second season. Then became a hero to the nation with a series of clutch plays on the path to an NBA championship and even got a vote for a Finals MVP. Like any professional athlete you'll come across, Fred mixes confidence and humility. He's intelligent, mature beyond his years, and he achieved success at every level. Suck on that, doubters. Number 6. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard spent only a single season with the Toronto Raptors, but that was more than enough to do what the majority of players were unable to do: lead the franchise to a championship. In July 2018, he and Danny Green were acquired in exchange for DeMar DeRozan, Jacob Poeltl, and a 2019 first-round draft selection. During the 2019 playoffs, he played with averages of 30 points, 9 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.7 steals a game. And of course, he was the Finals MVP. Many would say that he is the best player to ever play for the Raptors, but he is not the greatest Raptor ever. And we agree. He definitely checks a few important boxes, despite having only played 1 year with the team, which is the reason why he placed so high in our ranking. The reason why he placed so low is because, compared to other players, he didn't have as big of an impact on the franchise. It's not to take away from what he did, all the pressure was on him, as he had to almost single-handedly push the team through opposition. Number 5. Chris Bosh. In what many would call the best draft in NBA history, Toronto selected Bosh, 4th overall in 2003. He joined Morris Peterson and Vince Carter. On paper they looked fantastic, but under head coach Kevin O'Neal, their offense was a complete catastrophe. Carter's connection with the organization continued to worsen as the squad finished 33-49 losses. Bosh, a scrawny 19-year-old playing center out of position, was physically outmatched most of the time, but he also showed a lot of promise. He and Carter only played one full season together, which is one of many what-ifs for the Raptors fans. After Vince Carter left, Chris started to become a star. During his tenure in Toronto, he averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds and 2 assists a game, and shot 49% on his field goals. Great individual accomplishments, but the Raptors were unable to win anything significant, which ultimately led Bosh to part ways and join Wade and LeBron in the Miami Heat. Despite what happened, it's still important to remember how good he was as a Raptor. Number 4. Pascal Siakam. He started playing basketball on an organized level when he was 18. He overcame so many odds to get from Cameroon to NBA. He was drafted late in 2016 and worked every year to better his game. It's incredible how much he has grown, from just a role rookie to a spark plug coming off the bench to the MIP to the star player. He made 22% on his three-pointers in 2018. The next year, he made 37%. If that's not the most improved player, I don't know what is. He is beloved by the fans, but still growing, and because of that, his impact on the franchise is still not settled. That's why we put him high, but not higher. Number 3. DeMar DeRozan. After McGrady and then Bosh left the franchise, it almost seemed like no one wanted to play for the Raptors. But DeRozan decided to make it his mission to change the narrative. Raptors drafted him with number 9 in 2009. What followed is a couple of subpar seasons where he was just growing, honing his skills and confidence, but couldn't really win anything significant. It wasn't until 2014 and after Rudy Gay has left Air Canada that he really started to shine. You could see glimpses of what he was really capable of. I mean, have you guys seen the videos of how he practiced? Even though he wasn't perfect, he was the player that Toronto needed. In one of the interviews he said, "I am Toronto." In 2018, he got traded, and while it was difficult for everybody to say goodbye, given how much he meant to the city and the franchise, you can't argue with the outcomes. DeRozan definitely wasn't happy, but the first NBA championship they won required Leonard to push them over the finish line. Still, he remains one of the most liked Raptors of all time. Number 2. Vince Carter. Most Toronto fans know that Carter's relationship with their team is complicated. The way he left the organization was messy, and the more time has passed, the more polarizing the breakup seems to be. After leaving the Raptors in 2005, he was being booed almost every time he returned to the Air Canada Centre. And still there are plenty of Toronto fans who remember his injuries, lack of effort, basically quitting on his team and demanding a trade. In his last season with Toronto, he scored on average 16 points a game on 32% shooting from long range. After getting traded to the Nets, almost immediately he started putting up 27 points a game on 43% from long range. And then there is the other category of fans who simply remember a superstar who put the Raptors on the NBA map with his superhuman dunks and clutch shots. He was an absolute must-see, and after the iconic dunk contest in the year 2000, he pretty much captivated everybody who called themselves a basketball fan. Whatever the case, you can't forget the impact he made on the franchise and even to the country of Canada. Number 1. Kyle Lowry. DeRozan put up bigger numbers, and Kawhi brought the championship. Still, most agree that while he was in Air Canada, this was really Lowry's team. Just look at Lowry and his movements at both ends on the court. He never stands still. He constantly uses his body to create space, while also playing angles and manipulating the referees. He is an expert, despite of being short and undersized, not the most athletic. But his will to win is so big he will always find a way around the obstacle. Fantastic passer and defender, he makes everyone around him play better. He has never been the easiest to work with or talk to, but it's fair to say that he always put the good of the team first, above his own. And that's what Toronto truly remembers. Or at least we think so. Raptors fans, let us know in the comment section. In 2019, he had to take injections to reduce his pain after injury, just to be able to play during an important time of the playoffs. He still shot 47% from 3 in the series against the Bucks, or scored 26 points in the championship clinching game against the Warriors. No doubt the most important player in franchise history. His jersey will be hanging from the rafters in Scotiabank Arena. Apart from anything else, one skill Lowry is known for is his shooting. Do you think he deserved a spot on our list of top 10 NBA shooters of all time? Click here to find out.